Hey there, Chief. Dennis Farina here, and welcome to JSYK with the Dennis Farina. Just so you know, I'll be talking for most of this.
Oh, I don't think so. This is the Cage Man. The Cage Man on Caged, Uncaged podcast with your main caster, Nicholas freaking Cage.
Now, I gotta wonder, and I'm sure you do too, how this midge named Nicolas Cage thinks he can be uncaged.
Who is this midge you're talking about? It's the Cage Man. How do you not know this?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, guys, it's
Right.
our podcast. It's a D podcast
That's
with your
right.
main bros slamming skits.
Well then, just so you know, I'll be leaving for most of this.
Not D's podcasters.
Sus?
Sus? That was
Sausage.
imagine
And
I guess a
that's
Japanese
Farina.
Karina, I guess. Japanese Frigna just saying sus.
Hey, sus!
It's hilarious. It might be a little questionable, but it is quite funny. Anyway, guys. This is us slamming skits coming at you with another D podcast.
Right.
Heck yeah. We're not dead.
Not
I'm not
yet.
dead. We're not dead.
Thank the Lord, man.
We're not dead today, everybody. We are alive. And we're recording this on February 29th, so happy Leap Day.
Right.
We did it. We survived.
Yay!
We lived through another Leap Day.
Yeah, man.
We did it, everybody. Yeah. Even though Australia's on fire, the coronavirus is killing everybody. We're heading toward socialism. Hey, we lived through another.
Hopefully not, but
Hopefully not. Hopefully everything calms down. But yeah, we lived through another day. Yeah. Congrats, everybody. It's a miracle.
it is, isn't it?
We survived. Thank God. So yeah.
Yes.
Hendry, how you been doing?
I've been good. You know, I finished building my e-bike.
You built
And-
what the heck?
I took my bicycle and I upgraded it to become an electric bicycle where it has an electric motor and it kind of can be like a slow electric motorcycle.
But the one was like, son, what the hell?
Yes, she was, but that's okay. It'll pay off in the end.
Just like having 4 guitars and a giant's
A
whatever,
Marshall
Marshall
stack.
thing. Yeah.
Marshall stack amp and a Fender deluxe reverb amp and a Boss Katana at the apartment here, which I am seeing right next to me. Anyway,
My son, what the hell?
let's see. I also made a good grade on a test I took on Thursday.
I know, I heard you got like an 84 or whatever.
Yes. When it comes to electrical engineering,
Oh,
it
it's
is
a
a
miracle.
miracle. Indeed.
I can't believe it. After months and months and months and months and weeks of the Hendry just studying and not doing anything else, not able to call the Linden for any apparent reason, he finally broke through and got a good grade on something. It's a miracle.
Yes, although the stuff that keeps me busy like that is not what I studied for this time, but
Well, okay.
I know how that goes.
Yeah. Yes.
Probably be getting back on that tomorrow morning.
Oh, joy. Oh,
Yes.
joy. Well, anywho, anything else going on in the Hendry life?
That's about it. How about you? What you been up to, mate?
Nah. Well, wrote some book stuff, I guess.
There we go.
I've really been, I guess, just wanting to live life, honestly. Like, I'm so
Right.
incredibly bored. It always happens right around this time. I don't know
Huh.
why. Like, it always happens, like, during February or whatever, or January,
Huh.
where I just want to, like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm sick and tired of doing the same old thing. I want to do something new. Give me something new. I want to travel, do something else, do something better. I'm trying to get you to, go on another Florida trip so we can maybe get some more um uh I guess theme park
Theme park
ride
reviews.
reviews
Yes.
because we are running very very short on them
Oh yes.
from one day at Universal.
Yes.
We could go to Six Flags, but they're just roller coasters and
That I would be riding everything. Let's
I
put it
I,
that way.
I would be riding
Maybe a
few
few of
things.
them, and
A few
probably
things.
trumping it through the whole ride.
Oh yeah, I would
Lo-
be doing the Trump face, if you will.
Lots of praying and lots of
Yeah,
China.
especially on Six Flag rides, because Six Flag rides are like the
They're
worst.
they're when the thrill factor is on up there for some of
Oh
those.
yeah, like I'll tell you what, I would ride the Batman. The Batman.
You would
I
definitely make the China face, but
Yeah,
okay.
I would definitely make the China face. However, it's called the Batman. I have to ride the Batman because the Batman's my favorite, one of my favorite superheroes of all time.
Alrighty. Yeah.
Like
Perhaps we can hit up Orlando again.
Yeah, because I definitely rode the Spider-Man ride, like all the Spider-Man rides or whatever that was at
Yeah.
Universal. Went
Right.
into the comic book-esque Spider-Man thing or whatever.
Which was pretty sick.
It was more comic book-esque, not really like live action-esque, which it was like
Right.
you were stepping into like the comics. I thought it was actually pretty good. But anyway, we already talked about that.
We
But-
did.
I need to ride the Batman. What else is there at Six Flags? Is there like what kind of?
There's a lot of stuff that you could tolerate.
No, just like rides in general, I guess. Because I'll tell you right now, Six Flags is probably like most
It's one you're not familiar with.
the most extreme rides, and I don't do well with extreme rides.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Goliath is probably one of the more famous ones. It doesn't have any loops, but it has some really tall hills. That one's fun. I enjoy that one. It has a camera, and I always
Oh,
make a strange face, like shoving my hand in my mouth when the camera comes around and slams this, China-ing it.
yeah,
Okay.
I would be China-ing
China-ing it.
China-ing it. Yeah, I would
Right.
I would not enjoy that at all. I would probably just. I would be so glad if that ended. That really, really tall thing. Actually, you know what Six Flags comes from? Six Flags over Georgia came from
Yes.
Six Flags over Texas.
It
And the
did.
reason why there's a Six Flags over Georgia is because there were Six Flags over Georgia. Like there were different
Right.
different
That used to be the
countries.
thing.
Different
I
countries
remember
and all
that
that.
now.
It used to be like like Britain, and there was America, and there was Spain, and I don't know, like the Republic of Georgia, I guess, for a time.
Huh.
But like back when the United States was in limbo, I guess. They were thinking, oh, should we all become countries or should we all be one country? I guess. Spoiler alerts, we all became one country.
Yeah, man.
And there were some others. I forgot what they were, but I can't really think about it right now. But yeah, so anyway, you know what I really want to do?
Yes.
I really want to play some golf. Golf is kind of on the mind.
Yeah. Mine too. I love golf. It's probably it's tied as one of my favorite sports to play of all time.
Oh, what's the first one? Bowling?
Well, the first one is golf because it's tied with bowling
Yeah,
and
duh.
tennis.
Oh, tennis.
Although right now I've been taking up bowling more because I haven't really had time to hit the golf course and the driving range. Although perhaps I should do that. And that was my phone buzzing.
Indeed.
Sorry about that, folks.
Turn
Anyway,
all phones off in the making
yes.
of the podcast.
So right. Yes, golf though is something that Slam and I here played in high school on the varsity golf team.
Indeed. And I got a varsity letter out of it.
And I did too.
You have
Yes.
too, probably.
I did.
Yeah, I got 2 in basketball. So
And I got one in swimming. Or 2, one or I don't remember how many I got in swimming. But yeah, golf though, I mean, there's nothing like getting out on the course and taking in Mother Nature at her finest
well,
and
like,
hitting the ball out on the fairway, but
I guess-
hopefully not in the woods.
yeah, I guess more like man's version of the wilderness, I guess, because they
Well,
have,
yeah,
they
fair
have to
enough.
clear a lot of trees in order to make some golf courses, especially around here. But yeah, anyhow,
That is true. You're not wrong.
yeah. And they apparently golf is so popular that they made their own golfing channel, I guess. I mean, even though
Yeah, PGA Tour channel, I think.
that and NBC Golf Channel. And while he types that up,
Yeah, I'm looking. Oh, it's just the golf channel.
yeah, the Golf Channel, son. Duh.
I
Why?
don't really watch golf on TV unless
Yeah,
it's
neither do I.
like if I know it's on, I'll watch it. But I don't keep up with
Yeah.
televised things enough. I usually do my own thing, so
I don't normally keep up with golf, really, because I don't know why golf has. Well, I know why golf has it. I'll tell you later. But it's like one of the most boring sports, because it's just hitting the ball in the hole, and you either get it in or you don't. But there's not a whole lot of intrigue to it. Why do they make their own channel out of it? And you know why, son? You know why they have like 2 channels dedicated to this thing?
because people that play golf can relate, and it's something that if you play it, then it's more intriguing, and you can analyze the shots and get excited about, oh man, that was a solid putt, that kind of thing.
Perhaps. That's what poor people say, but the reason
Well,
why is because
shit.
golf is rich.
Yeah, that's also true.
Lot of people who play this sport are super rich. Not
That's
us, but
Part of why I haven't golfed much recently is the money.
yeah. I went, me and my family went to this resort last summer, right? Right before school,
Yes.
right before school started, and
Right.
one of the things we did was go and golf and all that.
Yes.
And my dad was like, you know what? Let's buy some golf shirts. I bought
That's
3.
nice of them.
It was. I bought 3 golf shirts. You know how much that cost?
150
Per shirt.
per shirt.
Yes.
Man, what kind of golf shirts did you buy?
It was just a very breathable fabric. It was very light. It's like a peach shirt. I bought an orange shirt, and I bought a red shirt. So those types of shirts that I could get at Kohl's for like $100 less at the most.
Yeah.
This place, which was at the Marriott Resort thing, I had to buy for like $150 each, which is outstanding. Plus
Yeah.
everything else that my family bought from that one spot was super expensive as well. Like, I was like, holy crap, how do you have this much money? And my dad didn't answer. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, golf is a very, very expensive sport.
Yes.
It's
it
not like
is.
basketball where you can just, pretty much just pay for the shoes. The shoes are the most expensive thing, and you're good to go. No, you gotta buy like a lot of stuff. You gotta buy the clubs, super expensive. You gotta buy right pants, which can be expensive. You gotta buy the right shirt, which is also pretty expensive. And you want to go all extra, you gotta pay for the glove and
Right.
the right bag or whatever, which are also very, very expensive. And tees, which are also not as expensive, but still pretty high up there when you think of a piece of wood that you put a stupid ball on.
Yeah.
Plus tea times, which are also, for what it is, depending on where you go, pretty expensive.
Yes.
This is a whole huge expensive sport, so no wonder they have two channels for golf, because they're for the top CEO level like businessmen who are like, oh yeah, golf, there you go, golf, yeah, give them money. Anyway, yeah,
Huh. Fair enough.
but yeah, however, as much as high expensive as it is, I still quite enjoy golf. Golf is pretty nice, especially on a nice sunny day.
Right.
Nice, not too warm, not too chilly, but just right. Like a little bit of a chill down the spine, but not
Yeah.
too cold or windy. That's like, and it's like really sunny outside. That's the perfect golfing weather, in my opinion.
Right.
But I think the one place I wanted to try golfing, which is probably the height of all places to golf, is probably Hawaii. Hawaii's like,
Huh.
and
Wow.
yeah, there's no way I'll be able to get to go over there, because not only that, but Hawaii's like super corrupt, I guess. There's like a lot of mob families over there. There's like
Expensive
drug
to travel, and
trafficking and all that. And it's like
then
super expensive to travel over there.
it's either like luxury resort area, or then it just turns into the ghetto.
Oh yeah, luxury resort or ghetto. It's very, very high.
Although they do
Contrast.
have hard body nations over there, I can confirm that.
Yeah, they gotta get them shipped over. Gotta get
Yeah.
'em shipped over. Everything they gotta get shipped over, except for spam, pineapple, and coconuts.
Right, but as long as they've got a nation,
Yeah, they need more. I don't know. What do you think about Hawaii golf? I want to try it. Hawaii golf is kind of where it's at, I think.
I mean, I'd love to give it a shot, but I think my ultimate golfing trip would be like either in like Scotland, where it originated, or
Scotland.
Augusta National, where they play the Masters. That'd be pretty cool also.
Oh yeah. Well, those would be pretty good too. Like, if you offered me a trip to Scotland to golf, I'd be like, yo, hit me up.
Just make sure you pack more than your Chicago clothes.
Oh,
'cause Chicago was cold. But that's
Oh,
going to be colder for
Yeah,
the rest of this.
yeah. Although, I guess the reason why it's always so foggy up there is because the weather is constantly changing. Because, they're really high up there, so they're gonna be cold. But, the Gulf of Mexico and those tides that are like warm up in the Gulf of Mexico, like there's this I forgot what the name was, but the tides from that go up to England and Scotland and make them and try to warm up the country and the islands, which is the reason why it's always so foggy, and the reason why England is warm when it's so high up in the cold. Like, they're at the same level as Norway and Sweden, where they get like they're super outstandingly cold. But
Yeah.
yet England and Ireland, they're like, during the summers they're like beaching it up, whereas Norway, they're still bundled up in like their super warm coats and all that, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, depends on when you want to go to Scotland, but I would really love to golf in Scotland.
Yeah, me too.
Anywho, so I guess that's it for that. Why don't you talk? We're gonna introduce a new segment to this thing, which too much of the Hendry's displeasement, I guess.
Yes.
We're gonna talk.
Yes.
Also, in this intro, we're going to talk about a news story that caught our eyes from
Yes.
our respective, I guess, sites, I guess. I don't know if we're going to have this as the intro or we can have this as its own segment. Right now, it's going to be part of the intro, so we're just going to talk about it. So, Hendry, why don't you go first? What's a news story that caught your eye?
Well, this is not fairly recent anymore.
No?
But it's still, something worth talking about. And, it's been a little over a month, but sadly, the almighty Kobe Bryant is no longer with us. Now, you probably already know that, but unfortunately, him and his daughter were on a helicopter ride somewhere, and
They were going to her practice, I think.
oh, okay. So
And he didn't want to be late, so he's like, "Oh, well, let's take the helicopter."
because he can probably afford that,
Oh,
and
yes, he can. Or he could.
they
But
crashed into the side of a mountain in Calabasas, if I said that right, which, if you don't know, is a bit northwest of LA. And Kobe, his daughter, and 7 others in the helicopter all died. So they hit that mountain pretty hard. And, it's not like Kobe Bryant was in bad health or anything. If he didn't get in the helicopter that day, he probably would be with us now and for the next 20, 30 years at least.
yeah,
But
I'll tell-
that's life,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I mean, honestly, I'm a big basketball fan. I don't really keep up with televised basketball sports, but I love playing the game.
Right.
And I always knew there was a person named Kobe Bryant,
Huh.
but like, I don't really follow basketball. I know who LeBron James is. I know Kobe Bryant was around, but I didn't know like how much he did for the sport and what he
He's
did.
pretty big.
Yeah.
He's a big name in basketball.
Yeah, like I didn't know exactly what he was, I guess, until he died. Because I was watching all these podcasts that people who live in California did and all that, right? And
Right.
they were explaining like when he died for like a week, the entire state of California and the entire city of LA was just in mourning. Like
Yeah.
you can see it on everyone's faces. Like even no non-basketball fans knew who Kobe Bryant was,
Yeah.
especially in that city. And everyone was in mourning because he was such a great, powerful basketball player, you know? And he did so much for the
Indeed.
sport. Now, it's also a very inspiring story because, not to go into it, but because I'm going to gloss over it, but it's worth mentioning. But back in the day when he was, I guess, playing and all that, he wasn't like the best person. He was having
Right.
like an affair and all of that and all that type of stuff. But that's like people aren't remembering that. They're remembering like how he changed his life around. Like he's one of those few like stars who actually like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to actually turn around my life and change it up and make it better, become a better person. And he did. He became a better father figure. He became a better husband. And yeah, they even it really acknowledges it because he died trying to go to his daughter's basketball game. I mean, that's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's some powerful stuff right there, I think. Plus, let me say this also, he was Catholic. He was a practicing Catholic.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And he has an Academy Award.
Really?
Yes. He had a little
Oh.
he had a
Huh.
little
Yeah, you're right.
yeah, he had a little short film I guess he produced for like basketball and stuff, but that won an Academy Award and he got a trophy on that, so yeah, good
And
job.
not only that, it appears he was the first African American to win that award for the best animated short film category.
Yeah. That's what I'm
So,
saying. Like he like
huh.
he did a lot of great stuff. Like so yeah. He was and toward I guess the like I guess when he was at first time playing basketball, he was like all over the news and all that, but toward like the end of it, he became more quiet and more reclusive and didn't really like, shine a huge spotlight on himself, which was I
Right.
think very honorable in my opinion.
Right.
So yeah. Rest in peace, Kobe. You were
Indeed.
the man.
Indeed.
I also saw his funeral or memorial service, I guess, where
Yeah.
they just my gosh. I understand why they did it, but I don't like why they did it. I don't like
Yeah.
that they did it. Like Beyonce was singing.
Oh,
was
it's one
performing
of
there.
those.
Yeah, it was like one of those. Like everyone,
Gotcha.
Beyonce was performing. I think Billie Eilish did something. Maybe
Oh, wow.
I don't even remember, but all I remember was like Beyonce sung Halo, and Oprah was there and she did a little thing. Shaq was there and he said
I'm sure
something.
Shaq was. Well,
Of
that
course
makes
Shaq.
sense.
Shaq was there and that makes sense, even though I guess they hated each other. Well,
They did have a feud, but I
Yeah.
think they
they finally quenched
were
it. which is
friends
good.
later or something.
Yeah, that was nice and all that. And
Hmm.
I think LeBron was there too. That which makes sense, but Beyonce singing, that was nah.
Maybe he liked Beyonce. I don't know.
I like Beyonce. Why can't she sing at my funeral?
Well,
But-
you go play some basketball for the Lakers, and then
I guess I don't know. Whatever. But
Anyway.
yeah, rest in peace, Kobe. You will be
Indeed.
missed. I wish I knew of how great of a man you were when you were alive.
for sure, I have to agree with you on that.
Indeed. Now on to I guess brighter news.
Yes.
I guess. Hopefully this will be a little bit shorter. Oh,
Indeed.
I know this is going to be a little shorter because I had a lot to say about Kobe Bryant. But my
Right.
news thing that caught my eye this week is that Disney CEO and chairman of the board, Bob Iger.
Right.
What was that?
My apologies. Keep going.
Okay, well, the chairman of the board and CEO, Bob Iger, who renovated Disney, became a major powerhouse, rescued it from the clutches of Mike Eisner, who was just drilling it into the ground. He raised it back up and all that. Bob Iger has stepped down as CEO and replaced it. But he's still chairman of the board. But yeah, he's no longer CEO, and he might be stepping away from the being chairman of the board in like 2021 or 2022,
Oh, wow.
something like that. But he's
Really?
yeah, he's like slowly going away from that
Wow.
and all that. So he left that, and another Bob Chapek,
Yes.
has taken over as CEO. Now, Bob Iger will be missed. He's the reason why Pixar is still with Disney. He's the reason why Marvel was bought by Disney. He was the reason why Lucasfilm was bought by Disney. He was the reason for 20th Century Fox being bought by Disney. And he's the
Shit.
reason for Disney Plus.
Wow.
He's also the reason why Alan Horn was put in charge of the movie division. And he was like, Alan Horn was a big, huge name in the entertainment industry.
Right.
Movies and all that. Like renovating like Warner Bros. Catalog and I think Paramount's catalog for a while.
Yeah.
He retired. Bob, the man, brought Alan out of retirement, brought him onto Disney, resurrected the Disney film industry, having every movie that Disney produced and made last year, minus two. But other than those two, every single movie made over $1 billion.
Wow.
That's like 7 or 8 movies, all within a span of a year, making $1 billion, which is unheard of. Over $1 billion. That is unheard of. It's still unheard of.
It is. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
That's just
shit.
Yeah, that's the power of nostalgia, I guess. But anyway,
I suppose so.
this man, you'll be sorely missed as CEO. But
Yes, indeed.
Bob Chapek took over, and they pulled him from Universal. I think this is the same guy, but they pulled him from Universal Studios' theme park division and put him in charge of Disney theme parks for a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And this is where you're going to be interested.
Indeed.
Do you remember that whole kabobble with the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror in Disneyland
Yes, I think so.
turning into Guardians of the Galaxy ride?
Right, I remember that.
That was Chapek. He was the reason.
Oh, Chapek.
Who knows? He might have learned from his mistakes and all that. Maybe he's better from that, I guess.
Could be.
I don't know. But the last thing that I heard from this man, other than him becoming CEO, I didn't, haven't kept up with the company a whole lot with
Right.
this guy. But the last thing I heard about him was that he changed the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror at Disneyland to the Guardians of the Galaxy ride when they had enough room to make a Guardians of the Galaxy ride by itself and leave the Tower of Terror alone, because they are going to make a Marvel Land in Disneyland. Not in Disney World, but in Disneyland. And Tokyo Disney and Disneyland Paris and all that, but
Yeah,
it's...
makes sense.
Yeah, I don't like that. I wish
I don't either.
Marvel Land was in Disney World and I don't have to fly to Disneyland, but whatever. I don't
Well,
like...
it's
I don't
probably because of Universal having their Marvel area.
Maybe, but Universal has a theme park in Orlando or Hollywood as well.
Yeah, they do.
So,
I don't know if they have a Marvel area in their park there, though.
yeah,
I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's whatever. I'm a little
Yes.
mixed on this decision because I
Yes.
haven't heard a whole lot about this guy other than he changed that. But who knows? Maybe he'll work out.
Maybe he will.
It'll only be like 3 years before we see like the benefits or the disapproval of this man and his
Right.
role at Disney as CEO. But yeah, son, what do you think about this?
Well, I mean, Bob Iger, he seems like he knew what he was doing from a business standpoint and from an entrepreneurship standpoint. He definitely acquired a lot of things. And it makes me wonder if the antitrust stuff's going to start popping up on him, but I think he seemed to have the right idea. Now,
Oh
as
yeah,
far
like The antitrust thing, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know because they went through, like, they had to go through a government thing in order for them to acquire 20th Century Fox, and the government
Wow.
approved it. So I don't,
Oh,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're, like, that's the question. Like, is Disney, like, too big now?
hmm.
But also, it was like, Bob's big thing, like Iger's big thing was contents, like having quality content. And I
Yeah.
read this book called Disney War, and he made this thing when he was back at ABC, like the president of ABC.
Yeah.
Like the big thing was you got to make great content in order to be a good company.
Yes.
And I like that. However, I don't know. Nowadays, it kind of seems like they're just rehashing old ideas. They're not like creating anything new, which is kind of sad. But yeah, continue with what you were saying. But that's, yeah,
Yeah. As for remind me, what was the other guy's name you said that might
Bob
replace him?
Chapek,
Yeah, Chapek. He
aka Bob number 2.
Bob Chapek. I don't know if I'd want him as the president, the CEO. I think if he's doing crap like taking down the Tower of Terror, that's I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
That's my take on that.
Yeah, and that's the question, right?
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what he's going to do. Like
Right.
he might have done some great things. I just haven't like researched him. I don't know if I want to, but because I'm
Yeah.
scared of what I'll find. But all I know is that he did that, and I was like, what the heck, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know the when we're going to start to see his fingerprints on the Disney company will be in 3 years.
Right.
Because right now it's Bob Iger's company right now.
It
Soon will
is.
be Bob Chapek's company when he starts making decisions and all that.
Right.
However, I will say this as well. Kathleen Kennedy, you're probably going to be fired. You know who she
Okay.
is?
No, but let's save the audience from the definition.
Well, too late. You know,
Here it comes.
Here it
Well,
comes.
folks, I've tried. I'm sorry.
you
Sorry.
tried. But she's the president of Lucasfilm. She's the reason why Star Wars movies are kind of all over the place and down the drain.
Oh,
Bob Iger liked her. That's why she stayed. Bob Chapek
Yeah.
might have some different eyes on the subject.
fair enough.
And that's all. She might be fired.
Okay. Well, never mind then,
Yeah,
folks.
there you go. I could go into deeper, but I'm just going to try to avoid that. But yeah, anyway, that's it for our news things. Tell us what you guys think in the comments down below. Whether or not you want us to continue to talk about this, want to go in more detail, or make this a new segment, or keep
Or less
it
detail.
or less detail, I guess.
Either way.
Make it less detail. I want there to be less detail. I don't want to talk about this anymore. But anyway,
So,
why don't you tell us what you think in the comments below? If you want us to continue or not. Anywho,
yes. So, let's move on to what's app with that. And today's app is Tinder. Slam, you've been on Tinder a lot. Tell us
gosh.
about Tinder.
well, Tinder. My gosh, this is a crappy app. I'll tell you
Really?
that right now. It's
Really?
I got a love/hate relationship. Like,
I do too.
so Tinder is an app. It's kind of a it's supposed to be used as a relationship app, but people use it as a hookup app where you go on it, you swipe right when you like the girl, and you swipe left if you don't, and you don't want to
Or-
see her again.
If you're a woman on there, you're swiping for men, you know.
Indeed. Or if you're gay, you're going to be doing the same gender.
Or you can do that too, or you can always use Grinder.
But anyway, it's open to all sexual orientations and all that.
Yes.
I'm a straight man,
As am
so
I. As am I.
yeah, so I swipe for straight women.
Yes.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot of success happens on this app, and a lot of people just want to hook up or sell porn.
Yeah, it's a very hit or miss kind of thing.
Oh yes, and especially like I don't know, but the girls that I have matched on there with, they have a problem with robots. Apparently,
Yeah.
I don't exactly know what that is, but there you go. And guys I know have a problem with Tinder with scams and
Yeah.
like people wanting like, hey, buy our porn and all that, and I'm like, nope, bye.
Hell no.
So yeah. Anyway, you can swipe if you want to, or you can get the Tinder Gold, where you can swipe how many people you want to on a given basis, and
You can see who likes you.
you can see who likes you. You can chat with them for extended periods of time. You can super like 5 people. You can have 10 top picks instead of 1 top pick.
Right?
It's an incredible bargain, but unfortunately, though, it costs $25 per month, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, hell
Yeah.
no,
That's
no.
a bit expensive. Eh?
Oh yeah, and no, I'm not gonna pay $25 a month for that. It's also
Yeah.
you also get like 6 months for like $90, but I'm still like, no, no,
Yeah.
I ain't
I
buying,
mean,
I ain't buying
that
that
is
stuff.
that is cheaper if you paid for 6 months in a row
Yeah,
at the
but
normal rate, but yeah, you're right. That's pricey.
yeah, it is. It sucks.
I agree.
A lot of the women that I find on there anyway just ignore me, which may be my fault. I don't know. Might
Yeah,
be.
half the time you match with them, and then you just end up like they don't message you back. It's like, why did you swipe right in the first place?
Yeah. Which might be my fault. I don't know. But all I know is I don't like it. It
I
sucks.
don't either.
Tinder is anyway, this is mostly just for hookups anyway, mostly. It's even though most women say no hookups, a lot of them are lying.
I think there are a lot of people that had success on Tinder.
There
It's
are.
just
It's just rare, but still.
you have to get really lucky. And a
Indeed.
lot of it comes from having good profile pictures
I
and
guess. Yeah.
a good bio.
Like we know this guy who met his girlfriend on Tinder, right?
Yes.
And
But they're still together.
they're still together. They're in love with each other. It's amazing. I cannot believe that actually happened. Even he admits that he got lucky.
Yes, he did.
We're not going to specifically name him for, I guess, privacy reasons, I guess. But still, it was amazing.
Yes.
I keep on trying to find people. I went on a few dates with Tinder people, but they're always just like one date and done, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, basically. A
Wow.
lot of, yeah, a lot of them just wanted to hook up, but I wouldn't let them, and then they stopped talking to me. There's even one that I went on a date with, and she did the very stupid like, oh, I'm sorry, my best friend's car died. I gotta go pick her up.
Yep. That's
I'm
right.
sorry. I'm sorry. This is real. And I was like, yeah, okay.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah, it's not. Thanks for trying, but you failed. You may want to practice that a little bit, or don't practice that and actually be a nice person.
You could do that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Yeah. So this app sucks. I would suggest not going to this app necessarily. I would suggest going on eHarmony or Match.com, something like that. Even though it costs
Yeah.
money, if you're that desperate, might as well just go on there anyway. Because eHarmony, what they like to do is it's like a doctor who made this, I guess, and he I guess he developed this app specifically for matching, and there's a lot more matches on that site than anywhere else, and most people that are on that app typically want a relationship and are not just hooking up.
Yeah, you're right.
Because, if you spend money, you're obviously trying to find, more than often than not, you're trying to find a relationship. Like you wouldn't-
Exactly.
Yeah, you wouldn't waste money just by, hooking up or whatever. Some people do, but
Well, yeah,
not
but
not most people. But anyway,
right.
what's your opinion on Tinder, son?
Well, let's see. I've had some moderate success on Tinder, not as much as you have,
Oh yeah.
but that's because I had a very crappy bio and profile pictures, and I'll admit to that. Now, my biggest problem with the app is that behind the scenes, and they don't announce this publicly, but they kind of track how your profile is doing and the behavior that you exhibit on the app, and they based on that, like, for example, if you swipe too much, then your
not many people will
attractiveness
see
level goes down and they don't show you as frequently because I don't know, I guess they think you're gonna spam it, but I mean, dang, what, we're just trying to meet girls. But you gotta definitely swipe left on some, or else they're not gonna let you succeed. I think part of it might be how many of the matches you get, how many do you actually talk to? So
Yeah.
perhaps just use it like being a standard human and you're good, but I
Like,
must not be a standard human.
I guess not. I guess we're just desperate. Like,
I don't know about desperate, but
I don't know. If you you overly swipe, you're not seeing in a good light, and you swipe too little. I don't know. Like, for me, I don't swipe a whole lot. I'm trying my best not to. I'm trying my best to delete the app, even as we speak. But yeah, if you don't, swipe, actually, you get more results. I've noticed. Like,
yes.
especially when you have the subscription, but then you cancel. All of a sudden, oh my gosh, you have 4 new likes, and I'm like, oh, okay. But then you like pay for the subscription again. You see the matches, and you're like, oh, they're not people I'm attracted to. So
Yeah.
crap. Now I'm down $25.
Yeah,
This
buddy.
stupid app.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh yeah. So anyway, if you're desperate, I guess go on this app. But if you actually want a relationship, I suggest going on to eHarmony or going outside and meeting people. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would assume that this Tinder was made from a guy that sits on his butt, like a fat guy, fat programmer.
Could be.
But anyway,
Right.
that's that's Tinder.
Pretty much.
Pick your poison, I guess.
For real.
And yeah, if you guys are Tinder subscribers or you want to be Tinder subscribers, first of all, why? Second, tell us below in the comments below.
Below in the comments below?
Below in the comments
Below.
below.
Below. All right. Well,
Indeed.
next up, we have the best and worst Beatles songs. Slam,
Oh,
you
yes.
know a little more about the Beatles, so this was your pick. So why don't you start us off here?
Ah, yes. the dead-ass Beatles. The
Be-
Beatles.
the Beatles, yeah?
The Beatles, yeah?
Right, yeah.
So these four guys, George Harrison, Ringo Starr, John Lennon, and oh my gosh, why am I forgetting the other one? Like I remember George Harrison, who's the most forgettable one, but who's the other one?
Wait, who all did you say? List it again.
George Harrison, Ringo Starr, John Lennon. Who's the other guy?
Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney. Holy crap! How did I forget
Man,
about Paul?
I don't know. That's
He
surprising.
wrote some of the best songs.
He did.
But anyway, so these four guys just jamming out in their garage, and I guess they got some gigs, and then all of a sudden they started touring the world because they had such a well-combed, fine-toothed song and music selection, I guess.
Right.
They tried new things and they succeeded, and pretty much every single song is considered to be a masterpiece and a classic, according to many people, and many people I would basically disagree with. So I'm going to debunk these and see which songs are good and which songs are bad. This band also was the first one that made breaking up popular among bands. Because
If
it was...
you could call it popular.
Oh, I mean, it kind of is. I mean...
Yeah.
But, like, when they broke up, like, the world shook, pretty much.
Yeah, they probably weren't expecting that to happen.
No. But, like, their whole, like, private lives were constantly paraded around. It was, like, a whole new thing. Like, nobody was monitored this much as the Beatles up to that point. Not even Elvis
Yeah,
at that point.
I
But,
think you're right on that one.
yeah, it was a whole new fad. It was a whole new thing. It started the British invasion. That's why we get
It did.
That's why we get so many British bands now, really, from
Right.
that are popular in America. Like, oh my gosh, 1D, One
Right.
Direction, and I don't know what else British bands are popular now. I guess Rolling Stones now still.
Well,
maybe?
kind of.
Not now, but
They've been around for a while, but they
They
were
were
part of that.
they're part of the British invasion.
Them and the Kinks, I think, were, if I remember correctly.
The Monkees, I guess.
Were they from the
Well,
UK? Yeah, they were. Okay, I
So,
was
yeah,
making sure.
There you go. So, yeah, honestly, this inspired from the movie Yesterday,
Right.
which is a much, much better movie than it has the pleasure of being. The plot is pretty much very, very generic. It's like a episode of, like, it's like a really tame episode of the Black Mirror, pretty much.
Right.
A very, very corny, tame episode of Black Mirror.
Right.
I don't know. It got me inspired to, like, say, oh, well, if the Beatles are this popular, is every song in the Beatles cat library that popular or that good? So,
And I'm gonna have to say no.
no.
At least for me.
And at least for me too, because there are some stinkers, and we will get into
Yeah.
that.
We
But
will.
first is the best Beatles song, and there's a lot to choose from. So, for me, the best Beatles song from the movie Yesterday is the song Yesterday,
Yes.
written by Paul McCartney. Which, by the way, he will be coming back into the fold here. But yeah, my favorite Beatles song is Yesterday, which is credited by McCartney, whatever, and officially credited to Lennon McCartney. John's trying to take credit for this amazingly beautiful song.
Yes.
This song was released on the album Help in August 1965 and was also in the movie, which was a big fad, which created the big fad of musicians creating movies. Help. They created a movie called Help, and which is like a big tour thing, and they also
Yeah.
released an EP of this song, and this song is one of the greatest acoustic songs probably ever written.
Hmm.
It's reads pretty much like a poem.
Yeah.
It's so like eloquent. It's like basically it's about this guy who is mourning the loss of his girlfriend or his love or whatever, and doesn't really explain how she's gone. I guess she like left, but
Yeah.
you can also interpret it that she died or something if you really feel entitled to. But
Right.
I guess it's the day after, and he's just mourning it. Like he's not the man he used to be. And that's a lyric in the song.
Yes.
And it's just very it's beautiful, honestly. Like this is one of the best songs I've ever listened to in my life. I'm not going to go real deep into this, but I went through some things, I guess, with women
Yeah.
leaving me, and among that, this when I listened to this song, it like really inspired me and really like taught me like, oh hey, this is like actually you can write poetry for songs. It doesn't have to be just like the same thing kind of over and over and over again. It's kind of like it's plays like a poem. You can write a poem and just put music to it pretty much, and that's a song. Like I just thought like songs and poetry were different, but
No, it's similar.
they're similar, but not as similar as like what this song does. This song is like just beautiful.
Yeah.
There's also some controversy that Paul McCartney might have plagiarized some of these things with Nat King Cole's songs and Frank Laney's songs and whatever. I never listened to them. I can't comment on that really, but I figured it might just be something you people listening at home can look into. But
Sure.
there's yeah. But anyway, you could if you want to, but I'm not really gonna get into it because I've never listened to them and I can't really comment on it. But anyway, this song is simply just beautiful. It hits. It's amazing. This is,
Yes.
I guess, this is the reason why the Beatles were so popular. It gives me
Right.
hope for the reasons why the Beatles were so popular. It's because they did amazing stuff like this. They changed the genre, really.
They
And,
did.
Yeah, that's it
Okay.
for this song. I love it.
Well,
If I had to grade it, it'd be a A++.
well, as for me, I'm not much of a Beatles fan, but through this podcast, I have actually discovered that they have at least one or two songs that are worth listening to.
Through electric
And-
guitar or acoustic guitar?
Well, probably electric because I don't own an acoustic guitar at my apartment here, so it would have to be on electric
How dare you?
because they do play rock music and
I mean, yeah, but
that's on the electric.
get a acoustic guitar because they exist. You
They
know?
do. I might get a cheap one when I start
Wow.
getting some money again.
Anywho, what is your favorite Beatles song? You non-Beatlite.
It would be called I Saw Her Standing There from the very first album they ever did, which was Please Please Me in 1963. It has a very nice surfing kind of vibe to it. It makes me think about the 60s and playing a Stratocaster through a Fender blackface amp and getting that reverb going and surfing on the coast. It's very catchy, very upbeat, and I will try to learn it on the guitar. Now, with that being said,
what is the first few lines? Give us a few.
Let's see.
Not musically, but like song wise, word wise.
Let's see. Give me a moment.
We will be giving him a moment for most of this. Sauce.
Sorry for the delay there. She was just 17. You know what I mean.
Oh,
And the way
shoot.
she looked was way beyond compare. So how could I dance with another? Ooh, when I saw her standing there.
Yeah. Okay, now I get it. I've heard of this song. This is it's one of those songs that had the controversy with it. Like,
Oh, it did?
Yeah, because they're talking about 17-year-olds and
Oh,
like a 17-year-old girl.
fair enough.
And they're like, I don't know, above that.
Well, to be fair, I think a lot of their listeners were probably that age, so
That's also true.
it was probably that kind of thing.
Plus, the British probably have. I don't know if the British have different things there, like different things there. I guess 18-year-olds can drink beer, so maybe the age of consent is 17. I don't know. I don't know if there is different. Comment below, but I've heard of the controversy. But anyway, continue with your song there.
Right. So it's got a good guitar tone. The lyrics seem pretty solid. And
Who wrote this song? Was it John or was it Paul?
let's take a look here.
Hopefully it's Paul, because Paul is the man. John,
It was written by Paul.
good. Paul is the man. John,
McCartney was the writer here. Lennon again tried to get credit, but
John again tried to get credit. I mean, it's true. Holy crap, John in his ways. He's just trying to get. Hello, let me get the credits. No.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. No. Yes. No.
yes,
No,
no,
yes.
yes, no,
Okay,
yes,
fine,
no.
I'll get the credits. Okay, good.
All right, yeah.
All right, yeah.
Now, I will give an honorable mention to Twist and Shout. That was my favorite, but then I heard this one, and I think it's a little better. And on top of that, Twist and Shout was not written by the Beatles, so I couldn't count it. But they did a good cover of it.
They did, and if you want to hear it, you can hear it on Ferris Bueller's Day Off when he does the famous parade dance or whatever.
Yes. And now, that is my favorite.
All right, well, let's wrap this
About
up. I guess let's talk about the worst.
Oh boy.
Many people think that there's no bad Beatles song. Oh, there are, ladies and gentlemen.
There's quite a few.
There are quite a few. Unfortunately, it's Beatles. I don't know. It's like Star Wars. People say, "Oh, there's no bad Star Wars movies." Yeah, there is. There are like at least 4.
Episode 2.
Episode 2, anybody? Episode 1, anybody?
1 is tolerable. 2
1 is tolerable. It's hilarious.
2 is like
Just boring.
Oh, what were they thinking?
And the Clone Wars, anybody? The Clone Wars movie, not the series, but the movie, anybody? And
yeah.
The Rise of Skywalker, anybody? Holy crap, was that? I was shocked twice in that movie. I was like, you know that spasm I do sometimes, like points.
Yes.
I guess I did that at least twice in that.
You did the purposeful point thing.
I did the purposeful points, and I was just shocked at twice in that movie. But it's not Star Wars. This is the Beatles songs.
Yes.
People say,
And-
"Oh, well, there's no bad Star Wars movies. Oh, there's no bad Beatles movies, or music songs." Yeah, there is.
There definitely are.
There are a lot. There.
I would have to agree with you on that one.
Oh yeah. The one that I'm going to pick, though, there is no point to it, really.
No.
For some reason, people have it in high regard. but I don't understand why. Well, I think I do. I'll tell you why. And that is Hey Jude as the worst Beatles song I've ever heard in my
Wow.
life. Hey Jude. I'll tell you what. It's over 6 minutes.
Wow.
And it begins good. It begins pretty well. And the guitar riffing and all that,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. Which is probably the reason why, I guess, oh no, the length is 7 minutes. 7 minutes and 11 seconds. So it's longer than, I guess, Bohemian Rhapsody, even.
Right. Which was not by them, but nonetheless.
No, it's not made by them, but it's also a very long song, but it has a purpose to it.
Yes.
There's a purpose why that Bohemian Rhapsody is long. There's no purpose to the reason why this song is long. Oh my gosh.
True.
This thing is so long that it's a non-album single released in August 1968.
Wow.
It was written by Paul McCartney. I guess he was getting mad at John, I guess, and he was putting in his music.
Huh.
Because this song sucks. It starts out well. The musical riffs are pretty well done. But, yeah, nothing else is good about this thing. But yeah, so this song, most of it's just like, na 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 na, hey Jude, over
Pretty
and
much.
over and over and over. And I'm like, what the hell? What is up with this song? It's probably because there were a lot of like screaming youngins
Huh.
on tour whenever they did.
Yeah.
So it was probably like, well, let's just sing something. Let's sing anything really, and they'll just scream.
Pretty much.
That might have worked, but
Didn't
now
hold up well.
it didn't hold up well at all.
Mm-mm. Hell no.
And I don't like if I was in 1960s and I liked the Beatles, even I would be like, what the heck am I listening to here? Because this song's not that. This song's kind of, nah. This thing had a 9-week run at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100,
Wow.
where I don't understand it. I don't understand why it's. Oh my gosh. Apparently, Paul McCartney wrote it as a ballad from Hey Jules, where McCartney wrote it to comfort John Lennon's son, Julian.
Huh.
I don't know why John wouldn't do that. But then again, John sucks. Hashtag John Lennon sucks.
Yes.
Anyway, I hate this song. It's stupidly long, stupidly boring, and there's no point to it after, I guess, a minute and a half. There's easily at least 5 minutes you can cut out of it. And that's it for that. I hate it. Except for the riffing and the beginning parts. You can keep those, but just cut out, like, the meaningless na 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 hey Jude over and over and over again. You can have 2, maybe 3, but that's it. Please.
I agree.
I got a life to live.
I do too.
Indeed.
So
now son,
let's.
what's your least favorite? There's a lot.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah. The Beatles are not my style, and there aren't too many of their songs that I like, especially the later on you go, the worse it gets, it seems, for me. So I'm going to have to go with something off of Abbey Road.
Which is one of their, like, most famous albums.
I don't know why, but all right.
I don't know. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with a song known as The One and Only Golden Slumbers. and it's based off of some sort of lullaby, and it's really slow and it's soft, and I mean it sounds okay, I guess, but it just it's not a rock song if you ask me. It just sounds more like a ballad,
lullaby?
a lullaby slash ballad type of thing.
Maybe they were trying to make a lullaby.
They could have been,
Maybe that's why you're honestly to it.
maybe, but if I'm listening to something, I don't want to listen to that. I want to hear something like I saw her standing there, which is, exciting, like da 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 da, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
I don't know why the Beatles would make a lullaby anyway. That'd be kind of weird. Because they're rock. They're a rock.
Like the best thing that happens in it is there's some drumming that's like dun, 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 and that's it. Then Paul McCartney sings a little bit louder, and that's all you get.
Oh, so it's not a lullaby because there's drums and there's loud singing. So, oh my gosh,
not like really loud. He just increases the volume a little bit.
But still, they're trying to. It's a lullaby. Well, that fails even as a lullaby then, with the drums.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I don't like it. I don't like the album, and it's not something that will be on my turntable.
Maybe with mine, but just for the novelty's sake, just to say, hey, I got on my turntable. Screw it.
Fair enough.
I'll just put it away and never listen to it again because it
yeah, pretty much
sucks as a service.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
That's all I got, really. It's just not good.
Speaking of which, if we ever go to London, we gotta recreate the Abbey Road scene.
Fair enough.
That'd be hilarious. But anyway.
That would.
Yeah, I guess that's it for best and worst of Beatles songs. List, what do you agree? Do you disagree? Post whatever your favorite or least favorites Beatles songs are in the comments down below.
Yes.
Now, Hendry, let's talk about your Tipping with You.
Oh yes.
Channel. What is
right.
yours?
So this week I picked something very unique and exciting. This is called MrMax.tv. And this is basically a guy who I think he lives alone. I don't think he's married. And
I would be surprised if he was. He's probably married to his cockadoo.
No, because that would be homosexual. He's not.
That wouldn't be homosexual. That would just be
and bestiality at that.
Bestiality. There you go. Yeah.
So this guy has this cockatoo, a Moluccan cockatoo specifically, named Max, that he acquired, I think in like 2007 maybe, and he's, had him as his pet cockatoo, and they've done all kind of hilarious videos together.
Yeah, they're mostly...
It's really simple and effective.
It's really simple, kind of channel. But really effective. This is like cat playing piano, pretty much.
But I would say better.
Oh, this is a lot better. This is kind of hilarious. Like, some of the vids that he posts are just... It's hilarious. Especially when he
has to go to the vet to get his nails trimmed.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Before you get into that, let me just say this. Let's talk about the first upload and the most recent upload first.
Yes,
then
definitely.
We'll get into the fine details first.
Okay.
But,
sure.
So the first vid, like, I haven't heard of this channel at all. Like, the Hendry just pulled this out of nowhere. And I was like, oh my gosh, how did I not see this? Because this is hilarious.
Yes.
The format of these things is just him talking to the bird, like, every day. And it's like, what's the longest episode on there? Is it like 15 minutes? Because it can't be more than, like, they're mostly like 5-minute things, right?
I don't know what the longest one is necessarily, but they're typically around let's see.
Yes, let's see.
I'm gonna go with about 10 minutes at the
Yeah.
most.
Yeah.
Normally they're around 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say it can't be more than 5 minutes, so it's pretty easy watch there. And yeah, so 5 minute watch of just the bird reacting to stuff or talking or whatever, which is hilarious.
Yes.
The first ever upload that they did, it was hilarious. What was the first vid about?
It's just called Max, and most of the first videos he did,
Very, very poor video quality.
the first 10 videos are just called Max. They all are titled Max.
Which, by the
And
way,
they're all 16 seconds.
yeah, which, by the way, you can't do on YouTube nowadays. You gotta name it something else. But I guess back in the day you could. But this, like, the video quality of this thing is just so poor. It's like, I guess,
It's like a flip phone.
yeah, like a flip phone video. He just somehow got off of his flip phone and posted it on YouTube. Because there's no way that there was an app of YouTube on a flip phone. But yeah, so it's just him running around. Just did he say hi? I thought he said hi.
He did.
What
He did.
Hi there.
It was like, "Hi, Max."
Hi, Max.
Hi. Something like that. And then
Oh,
the
yes.
guy's like, "What were you throwing a fit for?"
And that's it. But in his most recent video, he, as of this recording, he doesn't talk. He tries to get him to talk, but he sometimes kind of caws, I guess, but a lot of times he doesn't caw. But
Not in this video specifically, no.
in
But
this video specifically. But
it's kind of a hit or miss. Some
Yeah.
videos he talks a lot. Sometimes he screams really loudly.
oh yes.
Sometimes he just eats a banana. It's just Max enjoying some banana.
Oh yeah. But
So this newest video here, we just have him on top of his cage chewing on a wooden block while the guy's parrots are visiting him. And then we have him on top of the heater just standing there looking around. Then he's eating something from a bowl. And then we got him oh, he does say hi at the end. My apologies, I forgot about that. Yes, so the best was at the last, and he says hi. He loves to say hi. That's his favorite word. So, the biggest thing here to note is that the quality of the footage is way better. So, that alone makes it good. The environment's easier to see,
yeah.
set up better, it's thought out more, and the channel has grown over the years, I'd
It
say.
has. And I would say the funniest videos are when he's trying to get him to the vet to clip his nails
Yeah,
or something.
those are always the best.
He hates it. Let me tell you this: cockatoos have a lot of personality, especially this one.
Yes, they
Because
do.
Every time the guy tries to talk to him, he's just like,
It's like you got to get in your carrier. Then he has like this mumbling voice that sounds like a radio commercial or something. Then we got then there's one where he's in the cage and he's just like, "I'm in the cage, I'm okay, right?"
oh man, that was beautiful. Yeah,
Thanks.
he does that all the time, and it's hilarious.
And he's flapping the wings and everything. Like, he
Oh,
looks
yeah.
like he's really getting into it.
I'm in the cage. It's okay.
right?
Oh yeah, it's great. This channel, if you love animals, any animals, okay, this is the channel for you because he would never abuse this bird. Like he's constantly on the care of this bird,
Oh yeah, of course.
but the things that this bird does is hilarious because he hates the cage.
Yeah,
He wants to be
uh,
free.
he
And
just like going in that carrier to go get the toenails done. He as soon as he sees that carrier, he knows it's like, oh no, not that damn vet.
oh yeah, he knows.
And
It's coming.
even if he just puts the carrier out in the living area, this bird just does not like it. He gives him a lot of crap about it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This
Yeah,
Mr. Max. What was his name again?
It's just Max, but the channel is MrMax.tv.
MrMax.tv. If you guys want to subscribe to them, show him some love, go ahead because he's got like 300,000 subscribers now, which is surprising. He earned every bit of it, but I didn't know that this type of channel would be that successful, especially in today's YouTube environment. But yeah, good job, MrMax.tv. It's amazing content. I highly recommend you look up the best vids of him because it's hilarious, especially when he's in the cage.
Yeah, definitely when
But-
he's in the cage.
Yeah, because it's hilarious. Like some things that this bird does is just great. Good job,
Yes,
owner of Max. Keep uploading the content. We will be watching because your content
Yes, indeed.
is great.
it truly is.
It's not, the high level content like how it should have ended or Cinema Sins or
Yeah,
honest trailers or anything like that, but it's some quality content. It's a lot better than stupid, I don't know, cat videos or whatever. Even though some
Yeah.
people might like cat videos, I don't know. But this is like,
no,
I don't know. It's better than just watching a cat. It's watching
yeah,
a bird.
I agree.
It's watching a bird make fun of you and all that, which is hilarious.
It is. Yeah, that's MrMax.tv.
Indeed. Now it's time for best and worst COD games, son.
COD,
Lead us
which is
into
Call of
COD.
Duty. Yes, Call of Duty is one of the most popular video game franchises on the market today. Not everyone likes it, especially PC gamers. They hate it the most for some reason. I haven't understood that yet.
Like
But
I've heard a lot of people, not necessarily PC gamers, but like, I don't know, gamers, I guess, if you know those gamers
yeah,
who don't like,
anything
don't-
mainstream.
no, they love the indie video games, but they hate mainstream games. It's like, they're like the movie people. They're like, oh, well, indie movies are better, they're artistic, but mainstream movies suck. COD, okay, some might be good, some might be bad, but there's a lot of good ones out there, which we will be talking about now.
Right. So, there have been quite a few of these, especially after Modern Warfare Call of Duty 4 came out. That really set the bar, and kind of most of the games after that kind of followed a very similar setup because that was very successful and it worked well. So, my all-time favorite, with that being said, a reboot of the Modern Warfare series. It's not a remastered. There is also a Modern Warfare remastered, which is great, but that's not the same. This is just called Modern Warfare. It's a reboot of the Modern Warfare series, and I think it's one of the best ones they've done yet. It's not perfect, but I've been playing it constantly and really getting into it more so than some of the others. And I think it's amazing. If you haven't tried it and you're a fan of the series, go buy it. You won't regret it. You've got a lot of famous weapon setups. You know, the M4 makes its appearance, which is the best gun in the game by far. You know, you've got the Dragunov sniper rifle, for example, it comes back. You got the Bison is there. You got the MP5, MP7,
The
P90.
BFG.
Yeah, I believe that's in there.
Oh, I was just kidding.
Oh,
That,
I was
that's
gonna
in,
say.
that's in Doom.
Oh wow,
The BFG's in Doom. I was kidding.
man, I feel
You-
horrible.
you-
I totally
yeah,
fell for that.
You fell for that.
Oh man,
Oh.
Wow.
Guys, I got him. I got him.
he
ladies and
did,
gentlemen.
he did, he got me. Oh my god, wow.
That's just what. You gotta sneak in those jokes. You gotta sneak in those.
Yes.
Jokes. It's really good.
Well, anyway, so BFG is in Doom and not in Modern Warfare. We've got, unfortunately, the RPD gun doesn't come back. I like that one a lot. And then there's the AX-50. That's my favorite sniper rifle. You got the AK-47. You know, you got all the classic gun loadouts. If you don't know anything about firearms, this is surprisingly a decent way to learn about what they're called, at least, and what they look like. But, you know, I don't own any. I might own some one day, but I don't know yet. Nonetheless, the gameplay is phenomenal. You know, the graphics look impressive. The control is fluid. You know, the maps are pretty good. There are some that aren't so good, but most of the maps are pretty good. And, you know, for that reason, it's my favorite. Oh, I almost forgot. One of the biggest things that really sets it above the rest, actually, is they've introduced a cross-play mode where you can do online multiplayer
I was
across,
gonna talk to you about that.
yeah, different platforms. Like, I've got it on PS4. One of my buddies here that I have a lot of classes with, he's got it on Xbox One. Then another one of our friends has it on PC. And all three of us can play on the same map in the same server,
Oh yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah. There you go.
And not only that, I've played the Xbox One version at my buddy's place. And they even make the control layout where it kind of mirrors the PS4 layout. And the controllers are different, but like I was just going by muscle memory and it was all the same. Like I didn't have to look at what the buttons were. And that was pretty cool. So that's really smart.
Well, there you go. Heck yeah.
So that is my favorite. And Slam, I know you're not big into this series at the moment, but of the ones you looked into, which one did you like the best?
Well, like the Hendry said, I'm not really a huge COD fan. I play it every now and then, but not, it's not on my list, my top list of to-dos or whatever.
Yeah.
However, I will say this. From what I've seen, there's some people that don't really put this really high on their list, but I personally really enjoy this game. It's Call
Yes.
of Duty World War II.
Okay.
I
It's not a bad one at all.
No, like I like this. I really love this game. This game, like I'm a huge history buff, I guess.
Sure.
And one of my I don't like killing or war or anything, but
Fair enough.
one of the most intriguing historic modes of study, I think, is World War II. And Call of Duty World War II, I thoroughly enjoy killing Nazis.
Fair
Honestly.
enough. I don't blame you at all.
There's also some other games where you can like kill Nazi zombies. Yeah,
Yep.
that's exciting too.
That's World at War, I believe.
Yeah, World
That's
at
not
War.
the whole game. Isn't based on that.
Well,
That's
yeah,
just the
I know.
mode.
Yeah, I know that.
And it was really popular too.
Yeah, I know. And I gotta admit, yeah, I enjoy doing that. Enjoy doing that too.
Right.
However, it's just the history buff in me when I play this game. It's very it's very time centric, I guess. There's not like a whole lot of, like modern guns or anything like that. It's mostly like, World War II-esque guns and all that. A lot of World War II technology and all that, You're not like flying a one of those stealth bomber planes in World War II. You're flying like a P-31 or whatever, or a massive like plane in the sky that they used to drop paratroopers on, that type of stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
And I thoroughly enjoy playing COD World War II. This is like a pretty decent game, very well historically accurate. I think maybe, I don't know the reason why. I haven't really looked into it a whole lot, why people don't like this. Maybe it's because it is World War II and it's so accurate to World War II that they're not like, fighting with modern guns or like that type of stuff maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I enjoy it. I don't play like a DLC or whatever. I don't play like online all that much. I mostly just play it by myself. And just like, just play it, I guess, by myself and have my guy just shoot and all that and whatever. That's my COD experience. So from that COD experience, I really enjoyed it. And I'll probably play it again.
Yeah. I think the biggest issue people have with this one is the DLC stuff. The way that they implemented it was
I don't
not the best. They actually really improved it for the newest one. For the one I was talking about, they fixed that. Yeah. No, Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
The new Modern Warfare. Yeah. They really improved that.
Yeah. Well, maybe I guess that's why I love it so much, is because I don't play DLC. But anyway, yeah. Right.
I could see you being the type that would enjoy the campaign mode, because it's actually, especially I know the earlier ones, which actually the first 3 games were all World War II based.
Yeah, I mean,
the first one on the consoles as well was World War II based, and they've all got really good campaign modes. Good luck finding anyone online, but
yeah,
they're still fun to play. They're very cinematic.
Oh yes, especially this one, World War II.
They definitely draw from war movie.
Oh yeah.
Type of things, and I'm sure that's something that appeals to you a lot.
Oh yeah.
So I respect that. World War II is not one I have, and I haven't played it yet, and I would like to.
I love this game. This game is like probably my Black Ops 3 for you, probably.
Black Ops 3?
Yeah. You like Black Ops 3. It's not your pick, but you like Black Ops 3, right?
Yeah, fair enough. I guess that's a good analogy.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can relate.
Heck yeah.
All right, now for the worst.
The worst.
To be honest, of the ones I've played, there haven't really been any that I just absolutely hated. I think it's going to be a thing where all of them are good, just some are less good than others.
But if you're talking to a gamer, they're going to be like, well, actually, all of them are the worst.
All of them are bad.
All of them are bad. The worst. Okay, they're the worst. But that's not true. Oh, he's got to research it.
Oh, okay. Actually, I just remembered it.
I remembered it. Okay.
The worst one I've played, and most people will agree with me, is Call of Duty Ghosts.
Oh, is this
And
the 1980s one?
no, that's I think that's Black Ops you're thinking of.
Oh, okay.
Um, Call of Duty Ghosts is got a weird story for the campaign where it's about they're going on like a I'm not sure. It's like they go into outer space for some reason. It's the US is no longer a major world power, and after some World War III or something, it's really bizarre. It didn't really make sense to me, but I don't really play these for the campaign. I get more into the multiplayer, and I will say, my God, they make it where most people die with one shot. Like you shoot one bullet, you're down. That's it. And I remember when I played this, when it was the most recent one, I thought that the maps were not the best. I didn't really like the layout of the maps, and I always found that I was dying way more than I thought was necessary. Like it made it too
Yeah.
hard to play, and it got kind of annoying. Now,
I also played a little COD Ghost as well.
oh really?
I just remembered it actually. Like when you
Oh.
said space, I was like, oh yeah, okay, that one. And
Right.
I remember it was a while back. I guess that's why I didn't remember it quite
Right.
sporadically. But I remember that there wasn't like a villain. There wasn't like a true like villain, really.
Yeah.
Like, or the mystery. Mystery was kind of like nah. But yeah, it's not really cinematic, really.
Yeah.
It's not really um. It's just going all over the place. They're just trendy. People like space. So let's have them go into space. Oh, they like fighting in urban areas. Well, let's go to urban areas. They like the foliage. We'll have the foliage. We'll have everything. We'll fight all over the place in space and wherever there are people. We'll have them fighting, and
Yeah.
it just seems they're stretching a little too much.
It was, yeah, I think they were trying to refresh it and give it something new
Yeah, but
and something, and they didn't quite do it right. But again, it's still not a bad game. I mean, if I played it and sat down and played it, it's not like I'd hate it. I'd probably have a great time. I have good memories playing it with a friend back in high school. But yeah, it's not like some of the others that are like tremendously better, like any of the original Modern Warfare trilogy or Black Ops 1 and 2, it's not quite at that level.
yeah, I got you.
So, yeah, buddy.
And is that it?
That's it for my worst one. What's your least favorite? I'm curious.
COD 3.
Huh, really?
Yes.
Huh.
I hate this game.
Why?
It's so boring.
That's
It's
that is not what I was expecting, but okay.
yeah, it's I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's on the 360 or whatever. But it's not engaging. Like it's just shooting
Yeah.
and that's it, really. It's just I don't know. Like there's a Canadian section which is weird. Like I don't want to fight as a Canadian. What the heck? They're nice. I don't want to fight a Canadian. I don't fight with a Canadian. I want to fight with an American. I don't want to like there's not it lacks the polish or characters really to carry it forward, I guess.
Yeah.
They're just hollow things. It's just the most cheaply made COD game in my opinion. This game doesn't feel like really anything. It just seems like a hollow shell from what the previous two were. And I get that the previous two are kind of lower on the list of most people's as well, but I get the reason why, because they were finding their footing. And
they were.
Like the newer ones have improved so much graphically and DLC wise and all that. but this one just seemed like they grabbed it out of their butts and just plopped it into stores and like, hey, have this.
Yeah.
And they're all like,
I'll even
cool.
say I do own this game on the 360. I tried to play online and I couldn't find anybody, sadly. And I got on like a server where it was either me alone or me and one other person. And I just remember going around thinking, wow, this is so unrefined compared to Modern Warfare. It's amazing just how much of a jump they had going from this game to Modern Warfare. That game, Modern Warfare, is like, if they didn't have the current Modern Warfare that I mentioned, that would probably be my favorite. I love that game so much. And Modern Warfare 2 is probably tied.
Yeah.
Anyway, beside the point, COD 3, it had a few innovations in it, but not many.
Yeah, like
If anything, it was just kind of taking COD 2 and porting it to a 3. Well, actually, no, because COD 2 was on the 360, if I remember correctly.
It was.
Yeah, it was. So COD 3 was kind of that.
Basically the exact same thing, almost.
It was
with a few
very similar,
differences.
just with maybe a few refinements. So I could see why it was kind of meh, but it got good reception. I'm sure when it came out, it was pretty solid, though.
I guess, but I don't know. I played this once, and I was like, the hell is this?
Really?
Yeah, you remember that Halo thing we played in high school?
Yeah.
Like, it was just one or two guys or whatever, and we were just, like, fighting.
Yeah, I remember that.
It kind of seemed like that.
Yeah, that's probably a good comparison.
Yeah, and I don't like that. Not if I want to pay, like, up the wazoo for a newer game of this. No.
Yeah.
I don't want to. No.
Yeah.
No.
You gotta. If I'm gonna play online, I'd like to have, a solid community there where there's like 10 per match,
Yeah.
not like 3.
But not even that. It's just like, but that's it? Like,
Yeah.
That's all? No. I want to do more things than just shoot people. And I want to go to places. I want to do more things. Not just,
Yeah.
I want to have a story, Like,
Right, right.
A more cinematic mind. This is not cinematic at all, really.
Yeah.
But, yeah, anywho, that's mine. And it sucks.
It does. Well, to you. To me,
To me.
it's just kind of average. It's good, but not great. So,
Yeah.
that's about it for Call of Duty, I suppose, unless you have anything else to add.
Nope. Except don't buy COD 3.
Well, it's not that expensive, but yeah, I see what you mean.
Don't waste your time with COD 3.
Huh. Alrighty, next up is our theme park review, and
Brought to you by the great people over at Warner Bros. Not really.
sure, no, not at all.
Not at all.
More like
Actually, it's the
Universal.
Actually, it's the wrong studio. Brought to you by Universal. Jurassic Park 3 Domination in theaters. Not now. I don't know. Not really. but-
Yeah. Anyway, we got Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls, which is
Indeed.
very Canadian, very cartoonish.
Canadian, eh?
Oh yeah, don't you know there?
yeah. So this ride, Dudley Do Right, actually came from a little short segment from the Bullwinkle Show. I think that's the name of it.
It looks like a similar animation style to that.
Yeah, I mean, it came from the Bullwinkle Show, which originally was the Rocky Show for like 2 seasons, and then became the Bullwinkle Show for like 3 or 4 seasons. But now it's called The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it came along when they revamped the show to have Bullwinkle as the star. And Dudley Do-Right it's basically the stereotypical, hero trying to save the damsel from the evil guy. but it's in Canada, and Dilly Do rides a Mountie who's
Yes.
stupid. That's the twist, and that's
Yes.
it's just the same joke over and over and over again.
Right.
They made a
Right.
movie based on it with Brendan Fraser and
I hear it was bad.
Sarah Jessica Parker, and yes, it was bad. But now we have this ride, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, but there were logs. You rode in logs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's considered what's called a log ride.
Yes. So this is basically Universal's answer to the Ripsaw Ride Mountain.
No. Ripsaw Ride Mountain?
What is that?
It's called Splash Mountain.
Splash
I know what you're
Mountain.
talking
Holy
about.
crap. I'm sorry. I haven't gone to Disney World, so yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet. Perhaps maybe one day, but
Yes.
yeah.
We'll see.
This is the answer to Splash Mountain, aka Song of the South ride, which is hilarious.
Yes, that ride is very old. My God, every time I go
It's-
through Splash Mountain, it's like this was made in the 70s.
It actually was made in the 80s.
Oh, oh, really?
Yeah. Like
Oh, I was wrong. Well, yeah, it looks like it's aged.
the early 80s, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Right, it looks like it's from that era.
Yeah. But anyway, this is their I guess it's their answer to Splash Mountain.
Yes,
I thought this was a pretty decent ride. I thought.
I liked it a lot. I think I prefer it to Splash Mountain, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
Not by a lot, though. Splash Mountain has a better waiting queue when you wait in line. It's cooler. It's more themed, and it's some of the lines are funny. But I think actually, now that I think about it, I'd say that they're probably tied. They're probably about on par with each other. They're both good, but this
Yeah.
is Universal's. It's a little newer, and it's
tell you
got more
what.
of a cartoony look to it rather than a Disney fantasy vibe.
yeah. I mean, you're gonna be surprised with this. I'll tell you what. I didn't like the content of the ride, but I like the ride element.
Surprising to hear that from you, but I
Yes.
actually agree with you. It
Yes.
does seem to be
I
a little lacking in the theming, but it's a good ride.
Yeah, like I love like these rides where you like they're in the water and all that. Where I
Yeah.
guess Jurassic Park the ride did a little something similar where they
Yeah,
were in the
it's-
water too.
It's a very similar ride, but not a log.
Yeah, like I love the log type of rides. And I think there was another one I went on. I remember it was in SeaWorld, I think.
Yes,
Busch
that
Gardens?
was Atlantis.
Yeah, something like that.
If it was SeaWorld, it was Atlantis.
Yeah, either SeaWorld or Busch Gardens, I forgot. But
Gotcha.
anyway, it was a log ride. I loved it. It was great. I don't know. It seemed a little more safer to me, the log ride. I
Fair
didn't.
enough.
I hated. I would hate like non-water rides,
For
but
some reason.
because I don't want to die. But I don't know. Log rides seem like okay. Well, if I'm going to plummet to my death, at least I'll be cushioned by water, and there's like a cup, I guess, covering
Yeah.
the track, so the water can stay
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm not going to fall to my death. I'll just fall and probably hurt myself, but not fall 20 stories high. 20 stories high to my death. I'll just fall. The thing will catch me. Some things might be broken, but I'll still live. Maybe
Right.
that's it. I don't know. But anyway.
Fun fact, though, this ride did catch on fire once. I
Oh,
forget when it
well.
was. It was like 2 years ago, maybe.
So a water ride caught on fire.
That's very ironic, isn't
It
it?
is hilarious. Is the water polluted as much as the Chicago River? Almost.
I mean, it could be. It's got a bunch of metal in it. It's not something I'd want to bathe in or drink, but
No.
I mean, it does splash in your lap though sometimes. You're like, oh, come on.
Yeah, I remember my shoes were soaked, but
Yeah, that
Didn't care.
sounds about right. It's
Yeah.
a very shoe-soaking ride.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't really care because it's in Florida, aka the swamps, aka 97-degree weather, so it was really cool and
Yes.
refreshing.
Yes.
So I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Get in my shoes.
Huh.
Warm my feet.
For real.
But anyway, Dudley. I don't know. Like the content of this thing is kind of like stupid. It's kind of like I didn't like a Men in Black thing as the guy who Tank Carts 150 who subscribed to us and then unsubscribed to us. I guess when he saw the commentators about it.
Huh.
That we
It's
made
funny.
about his paragraphs, but he made paragraphs about it. Anyway, it seems kind of like that. The content of this thing sucks.
Yes.
Like what? Why would you make a Dudley Do Right ride anyway? I guess maybe it was based on. I don't know when this was made, but maybe
The
it was,
late 90s.
Oh,
I
the
think
late
it was
90s.
98 or 97.
Oh,
If
really?
I remember. Yeah.
Okay, well, the movie came out in '99, so maybe that's the reason why. Or
Could
'97.
have been. Could have been related.
Maybe it could have been. I don't know. Brendan Fraser is all over this park. My gosh. Anyway,
Yes.
maybe it was maybe that was the reason why. But, and I think the bad guy made a park similar to this, and that's the
Right.
reason why they made a actual ride about this, because it was in the
Indeed.
But I don't know. It just seems really random nowadays that Dudley Do Right has
Yeah.
a ride at
I
Universal.
didn't even know what that was until I went on the ride. So
Yeah,
there's
because I
the
told
point.
you.
Well, no, I didn't know what the franchise was until I wrote it independently of when we went.
Oh.
I had been on it before.
Ah, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yes.
Anywho, yeah. There's not a whole lot to say about this, except I really enjoyed it. I'd love to go to Splash Mountain and compare the two.
Yes.
But,
Perhaps we can do that someday.
But yeah, I think it's surprising, but I don't have anything really to say about the content. The content is...
It's just not much there.
There's not much to really say about it. It's really simple, and that content-wise, I don't know. It's just it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It is.
I don't
It
know.
is.
I don't really know. No. I don't really know what to say about this anymore. Except the logs were pretty good. It was long, like the ride was long.
It
took
was
like 5 minutes compared to like normal 3 or 2 minutes.
Right.
Which I was impressed by, but other than that, really, I don't know. That was basically it. It wasn't it also a little bit inside, or was it mostly outside?
It had a few indoor parts.
Yeah, I like the indoor parts. The outdoor parts were kind of iffy though.
Yeah.
It was faster than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it would be like a slow, but it was actually a little fast, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm safe. I'm not gonna die. But yeah, anyway, I give this a, yeah. Dang. What is our grading system? I keep on forgetting. Is this a, like numbers or letter grade? I forgot.
This, I believe, is...
I think this is numbers. Out of 10.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Alright, I give this a, well, it's gonna be numbers today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm giving this a 7.9 out of 10.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a... I'll give it a 7. Solid 7.
Solid 7.
Yeah.
Because you are less involved with the source material than I am.
Well, I mean, it's more... It's a good ride, but I prefer the high-speed coasters a bit more. But it's a
Yeah.
good ride. It's fun.
I got you. I gave it points because it was simple. It was like, not because it was simple. I gave it points because it made me safe. So good
Well,
on
yeah.
you for that. But
Fair enough.
good on you for that. But I mean, I don't know. Just the fact it was so simple, I was like, where is it? Give me more. You know. Anywho, so yeah, what'd you guys think of this ride? Do you think it sucks? Do you think it rocks? Comment and let us know down in the comments below.
Do it, folks. Get her done today.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Speaking of which, Memopolis.
Yes. Tell us about the meme that you picked for us.
Oh, I will tell you about the meme.
I bet you will.
This meme has been sweeping the internet ever since November. Or,
Yes.
yeah, I think it was November. Baby Yoda. This guy.
That's right.
This kid. My gosh. Technically he's not Baby Yoda. Technically, he's a totally different character than Yoda. Because
Right.
he comes from the show The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, and The Mandalorian takes place after Return of the Jedi, and in Return of the Jedi, Yoda dies.
Right.
So
Right.
it cannot be Yoda unless he's reincarnated, which he can't be because he appears as a ghost in The Last Jedi, which takes place 30 years after Return of the Jedi. So, yeah. Short answer, he can't be Yoda. So it's just a nickname, I guess. But anyway, this thing is adorable. This thing is, they did puppet Baby Yoda. They haven't done CGI Yoda, maybe with the eyes, but this is basically a puppet, which is good.
They went back to the old style.
Yes, they went back, like in The Last Jedi, they went to puppet Yoda, not CGI Yoda, thank God.
Oh, good.
So, in this movie, they had, like, you saw it too. You saw the puppet Yoda. Like, we watched The Last Jedi together. So,
Yeah.
this one is a puppet, thank God. People, have taken every scrap of film with this little awesome thing and just made beautiful memes about it. Just like,
Yes.
there's one episode directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, actually, where Baby Yoda has some, like, a little bowl of soup or whatever in his little hands. And
Wow.
like, this is one of my favorite memes. It's like, Baby Yoda saw that you were feeling sad and he made you some soup, and it's just him holding the soup, and it's the most adorable thing. It's like this is like good memes, it's not like attacking people. This is like good quality, like, fun, good quality fun memes, like very nice,
Right.
cute memes.
Yes. For sure.
They aren't like, trying to tear people down or anything. But yeah, this is like pretty decent memes here. Like, there's a Baby Yoda song and all that. It's just hilarious. Like, there's even one about Baby Yoda drinking some Lipton tea, like Kermit or whatever. It's just hilarious. There's even one with him and regular Yoda doing that okay boomer thing. He's like saying, do or do not. There is no try. Baby Yoda saying, boomer, okay. And Yoda saying, listen here, you little shit. And yeah, it's hilarious. You there, son?
Yes, that is very hilarious indeed.
Yes, indeed. You're probably doing something else, but it's okay.
Well, folks, I don't really know much about this meme, actually.
That's right.
But
you can
now I
talk.
know.
Yeah.
So, from what you've said, this sounds like it's actually pretty funny.
It is. It's hilarious. Like, there's
I didn't know it had exploded to that level.
Oh, it is. Like, there's one where Baby Yoda's like me high looking at myself in the security camera at CVS. He's just looking high.
I've done that before.
Yeah,
That's
I think we all have, which makes it hilarious. And
yes, it does.
Baby Yoda in a doorway saying, "Baby Yoda coming into my room at 2 a.m. telling me he threw up."
Huh.
It's hilarious. And there's no sign of the throw up. It's just him looking up in the doorway, and it's cute.
Yep, you're right.
There's even one with Detective Pikachu with the famous Adam and God creating thing. It's Baby Yoda as God or whatever, which is, I don't know, whatever. But anyway, yeah, most of it is pretty much just him in the soup bowl, because I guess that's the cutest thing ever. Like him in his little bowl of soup. It's hilarious. It's mostly just him just holding stuff, which is it's awesome.
Right.
And it's like, which by the way, this thing, there are plush toys of him coming out now, and there's like figurines of him coming out now, and they are selling like hotcakes. So
I bet they are. It sounds like, yeah, I'm sure they're selling very well, if I had to guess.
Oh yes, they are tremendously. They're like sold out all over the place, and they cost like not like the mainstream stuff that are kind of like cheap and all that, but like the very detailed stuff are just wiping out.
Wow.
Because this thing is just so adorable and so innocent, and it comes from a great Star Wars thing, which I gotta say, thank God, finally we get a great Star Wars thing, something that's not controversial and something that Kathleen Kennedy hasn't ruined, which you don't which you don't really understand, but I'll tell you.
No, but that okay.
But I'll tell you, it's a tragedy, and this thing is just fabulous. It's a fabulous thing.
It is.
Most of them is just him holding crap, but
yeah, pretty much.
It's hilarious. Or him just looking up. It's hilarious.
From what I've seen, that seems to be it mainly. It's just him, like you said, holding the soup. I saw one of him holding a wrench. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that's from the him holding the soup.
Right.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
From your limited experience with this meme, what do you think of this?
I think it's good, especially the OK Boomer one. That one's top quality. That's good stuff.
It's mixing two memes together to create.
Yes,
great
that
meme.
is amazing. I like it.
Indeed. There's not a whole lot to talk about unless you want to get into the Mandalorian, which is that's
beyond the scope of this discussion.
That's beyond the scope of this discussion, absolutely. So we won't really get into it. I'll just say this: watch the Mandalorian. Pay that $8 a month to subscribe to Disney Plus for at least a month. Watch the show because it's awesome.
Yes, please do.
And by the way, Baby Yoda's real name is called the Child, according to the credits. So the
Child. Yeah,
because he doesn't have a name yet. Like what else are you gonna name this thing? You can't name it Baby Yoda. It's not because he's not Yoda. So what else are you gonna name it?
That's funny. The Child. I like it. I like it. The Child.
Also, he is 50 years old.
Yeah, he's still growing.
Yeah, this thing's a baby, but he's 50 years old.
Yes.
Which is a little trivia nugget there. A little something there for you. And yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Cool.
There you go.
Well, all right. Well, next up we got commentators on the comments. What did you find this time?
Commentators on the comments.
Yes, let's hear it. I can't wait.
Well, you may want to wait for this one because we're going back to the trash here. So as of this recording, 3 days ago, a guy named Kyan Bauer posted on my Avatar: The Last Airbender episodes 1 through 2 review, which, by the way, was a while ago.
Yes,
I need to get back on that. I probably need to update that, actually, because I've gotten so many bad comments on it. Because those particular episodes weren't that, stunning, really, to me.
Yeah.
Like, it gets better, but you gotta start somewhere, and right now it's got the good basis, but it's just, it's not anywhere close to where Avatar became, I guess,
Right.
Anywho, I'm gonna delete this later, actually, because this doesn't need to be it's whatever. He says, Kyan Bauer says, bruh, you didn't add the episode. You just reviewed it. Make better content and don't make a stink-ass review about Avatar. Delete your channel. Yeah, that's funny.
That's a roast right there.
It is a gigantic roast. First of all, Kyan, I know I didn't add the episode. I know I reviewed it. This content I make is great, I think. And it's not a stink-ass review about Avatar. and this channel will not go away. It will stay until YouTube dies. So yeah, why don't you delete your channel, Kyan?
Yeah.
In fact, you know what? Let's see what Kyan Bauer. Let's see what he uploads. Oh, he doesn't have any content. What a surprise!
Got him.
Got him. Oh, you don't even post anything, so you can't come at me. Oh, you roasted. I roast you back.
Yes, you roasted him back indeed, Chief.
Oh, I did. That's all I'm gonna say about that. What do you think? I think it's hilarious.
I think
These
you
trolls.
summed it up. I really do.
These trolls.
You said it. Yes, for sure. My God.
Anywho, so yeah, I'll say something else though. This I was looking on cyberbullying actually, not because of this, because I was doing a project or whatever, and YouTube actually has overall through its entire platform, 10% of all comments made on YouTube are credited towards cyberbullying.
Huh.
Which is nothing compared to Instagram, which is 42%,
Wow.
and Facebook is 37% of posts.
What do you know?
And WhatsApp is 12%. So basically, Facebook
Wow.
has a huge cyberbullying problem that they just don't want to solve apparently. So that's a whole other thing. But anyway, Kyan, I'm going to delete your post there. Thank you for that. And yeah, there you go. So anywho, that's it for that. Let's talk about something else. Unless you have another thing to talk about with Kyan.
That's it. That's all I got. Let's move on to recommendations. And
Indeed. Let's talk about recommendations for COD first. What's your recommendation?
all right,
for COD?
Modern Warfare Remastered. It is maybe a little bit overlooked, but it's done really well. They took the original Modern Warfare Call of Duty 4 and updated it for PS4 and Xbox 360. If you really love the first game, you will love this. It lets you play it with better graphics and visuals, and it's the same maps, same callouts, same weapons. It's the same game, but it's been refreshed, and you could probably find it fairly cheaply, and it's a really good one to have. When I got it, I loved it. I haven't gotten to play it recently because of the current Modern Warfare, but yeah, Modern Warfare Remastered, you could find it for probably under $30. So I recommend it highly. Great game.
Indeed.
Cool.
I had two songs I was looking over, but I think I picked one. One was "Come Together" by the Beatles, but I'm not picking that.
Okay.
I'm picking "Help."
All right.
"Help." It's a very classic Beatles song. I don't. Whenever I really need help, I guess I just think of that song. It's just so iconic. It's in all the movies. I think I first heard it on Cheaper by the Dozen, like the Steve Martin movie.
Yes.
And he said, "I just need some help." And all of a sudden, the Beatles songs just start playing. "Help! I need somebody. Help! Not just anybody. Help!" I think it's
right.
I think it's a great song because it speaks to people who need help and makes it a little fun, kind of groovy, I guess.
Right.
Groovy, man, if you will. So
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's not, poetry-esque, but it's kind of generic, more or less, nowadays, but it's still a pretty decent song. It's got some good riffs there. It's a good rock and roll song, and a pretty entertaining song as well. So, for my recommendation, I pick "Help," that was written by Paul McCartney again, and John Lennon obviously took credit for it.
Right.
Actually, let me just look that up. You talk about something else.
Well, again, I'm not really a big fan of the Beatles, so I may or may not like this song.
Yeah. You may or may not like this song. It was the title song for the 1965 film Help and the soundtrack album.
Yeah.
Oh, well, my apologies. This was one of the few songs, I guess, that John Lennon wrote with some help from Paul McCartney. Of course, Paul, he's helping him out, of course.
Right.
But apparently this was written by John Lennon. Good job, John. You finally pulled something out. You finally pulled something out of your ass. Good job. Yeah, you actually wrote a good song. Or you wrote a song. Good job.
Yeah.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle. You
is.
finally did your job. Anyway.
Indeed.
So, I guess that's it, huh?
Yeah. Let's close out here with our picks for next time. I'm going to be talking about the best and worst cruiser-style motorcycles.
Of course, because of your motorcycle.
In the spirit of building my e-bike, I've been intrigued by looking at motorcycles, which I won't be getting until after college, but...
Indeed. I'll probably, if anything, I'll probably get one now.
Okay.
I want to get one now.
I would too.
Whenever I have enough money, I'll just buy it.
Okay. What's your pick?
Yeah, so I'll give you the option.
Okay.
Here's my take on it.
Sure.
Actually, no, never mind. I was gonna say best and worst of Simpsons episodes or best and worst of Family Guy episodes, but I'm tired of talking about TV. I'm gonna talk about basketball. I like basketball. So,
all right.
Best and worst. Besides the death of Kobe, kind of made me think. Okay, well, let's talk about basketball. I'm getting a little bit inspired by basketball. Plus, it's March Madness. It's almost
that's
here
also true.
as of this recording. So yeah, best and worst basketball teams.
Okay.
Also, just so you know, it's my turn to pick the team with the U's.
Okay.
Guess what channel I'm gonna pick?
Chris Stuckman.
Oh yeah, it's Stuckman time.
I'll have a lot to say about Chris.
Oh yes, we're gonna get Stuckmanized, ladies and gentlemen.
We are.
Stuckmanized.
We are.
We are gonna. Oh, it's gonna get so Stuckmanized up in here. I'm so excited for that.
Oh
Also,
yeah, I bet you are.
Oh yes. We're not gonna keep on doing that. I'm just saying that we're gonna do it because it's hilarious. Because he hates Chris. I love Chris.
Yeah. Well, you'll find out more next time.
That's
oh
just a
yes.
preview. Now we're getting pretty down to the barrel with theme park reviews.
We'll have to start riding some more rides for you folks.
Yeah, we're either gonna go to Six Flags or back to Orlando to SeaWorld or something. I don't know, or Disney World. I don't even know. But we're gonna do the theme park reviews. That's gonna be Doctor Doom's Fearfall.
Alrighty.
AKA the origin of the Trump face I like to do.
Yes, that was the first time I saw it, and I had mixed feelings about it. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess he did not take this as well as I was expecting.
Yeah. Anywho,
you'll find out more on next episode.
On the next episode of D Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to have a comments and commentators and
commentators on the comments.
Commentators on the comments. I keep on forgetting that name.
Yes.
Even though I came up with
I got you covered.
Commentators on the comments.
Yes.
And you want to, just have some fun with the comments, please comment below and let us know. If you just do something like funny or whatever, and then we'll definitely pick it. But if it's something more critical, we're gonna make fun of you. I'm just saying. Anyway.
Right.
Yep. that's it for Slammin' Skits coming at you from the southeast. Here we
Yes.
are, and yeah, we'll see you on the next podcast, next review. More stuff coming your way, by the way, and
You
yeah,
got it.
take care.
And adios.